You guys hear me all right? Morning, morning. Loud and clear? Great. Morning, good morning. We'll get started here in a few minutes, guys. Thanks. Morning, good morning. Yeah, Project Hail Mary is a sick movie. Morning, good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Morning, good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. We will get started here in just a few minutes. How's the audio doing? Audio sounds good. I tried to move the speaker around to help with any echoing issues. So let me know if you guys still hear any echoing issues or anything along those lines.
Hey, good morning. Hey, you guys hear me okay?
What's up, Steve?
Oh, cool. Just making sure you could hear me okay.
Yeah. Sorry. What's up, man?
Perfect. Nothing much, man. Monday.
Happy Monday, dude. These weekends are going by too fast. Way too fast. Glad everything worked out. Long shot. I put a message in the new member channel. I don't know if you saw that. I hope that helped too.
Hey, sorry,
Yeah.
my audio cut in and out. Were you talking to me?
No, I was talking to Long Shot in chat.
Shoot.
Testing, Steven? You guys can hear me and Steve? Maybe it's just Steve.
Might be just me. I set up with a new TV, but it just cut off and on.
Okay. You want me?
Also
You back good, or should I do like an audio check?
I think I'm okay. I switched it to my laptop audio instead of the TV, and that seems to be good now.
All right, cool. Cool, man. So me and
One
Steven
day,
both
man.
watched The Odyssey. Honestly, I don't know if it's propaganda. I don't know if it was marketing. I don't know what it was, but all the critics, all the stuff were full of baloney. It was actually an awesome, incredible movie. And now that I kind of sat around thinking about it, I would say that, in terms of Nolan movies, Interstellar is number one for me. Inception and Dark Knight are tied for like number two. And then I would say The Odyssey is the one right after that. No, I would never spoil it. I would rather, switch lives with James than spoil that movie. Or spoil any movie, at least. No, it was
Yeah, I
amazing.
thought it was definitely a great movie, and it was pretty epic just watching the scenery and all that kind of stuff. It was a fun movie. Definitely, if you guys are going to watch it, which I recommend, go watch it in IMAX.
You have to watch it in IMAX. You have to.
Right, right.
Do not pay the extra $5, $10, whatever it is, and go see it in IMAX. If you want a trick, go to the early bird special at 10 a.m. Tickets are like 30%, 40% off. So I saw the movie at 10 a.m. on Sunday. It was like $17 for IMAX. It's usually like $30 or something like that, I think. It was not
Yeah,
empty, it was packed. Not a single seat was open, but it was worth it.
So it's crazy here in Australia. We watched it at the Gold Coast. So they had a 6:20 a.m. show yesterday on Sunday,
Oh shit.
and the show was sold out. So we found two seats that were decent at the 10 a.m. show, and the other seats were also sold out.
Yeah, for me, dude, seats are a big deal. Like if I sit all the way in the corner, I just won't go to the movie.
Right, right.
And my wife is like, sit me anywhere. I don't give a shit, She's like, I'm gonna be on TikTok anyway.
I'm gonna be on TikTok anyway.
Anyway.
Oh my god.
All right, let's get started here, guys. So, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Live Trading. If this is your first time on Live Trading, welcome. We are using the webinars channel in Slack to communicate. The way we structure live trading is pretty simple. We talk about what's working in the market, what's not. We build the watch list live and trade the watch list live. So, I had a really awesome day on Friday. You guys watched me make $25,000 on MU long, which was awesome. That brings my month up to $34,000 for the month, which is awesome. I've been saying the last, couple of weeks, the market's been slow. If you look at my P&L, July 1st, 3,000, July 2nd, 1,000, July 7th, 200, July 8th, 400, July 16th, 500. So the thing is that it's been relatively slow for me. And the thing about slow market days is it's very easy to get trapped in this mindset of, dude, I gotta make money, I gotta push, I gotta buy a new BMW, and because of that, I gotta size up more and all this stuff. And what you have to realize about the market is everything moves in cycles. So live trading is everything on the line, man. I'm showing you guys everything. I'm showing you guys that slow days are happening. I'm showing you guys that throughout those slow days, your job is just to manage risk and stay alive. Because when some of those slow days go away, like we had on Friday, dude, I made my entire month in one day. you know, and that gave me momentum. That gave me confidence. That gave me everything that I need to prove through demonstration, not anything other than literally demonstrating that this is the proper way to trade. You know, there's going to be slow days, there's going to be fast days, but I don't know anyone else out there that's literally showing you that there's slow days, and those slow days are okay to just kind of take it slow. Everyone out there is always like looking for this adrenaline rush, is like kind of like a trading junkie type thing, but the reality is that that's not how you become successful in the markets. You know, less is more in the market. So for me, having that awesome day on Friday and having you guys all see it in person and having the replay on YouTube, I mean, dude, what else could I do? And the trade thesis on MU, you know, just to kind of go over it, is, you know, more often than not, what I've seen happen on these big bounce days, you know, I noticed this on the day that, you know, the tariffs got reversed. I noticed this on days where markets rebound, is they do this trick, right? And this is the trick, so pay attention. So the trick is they set up area pre-market at the lows, right? On this Micron example, we'll call it 806 or 807. What I've noticed is oftentimes they will break that low and stop everyone out. They will say, because the reality is, if the pre-market low breaks, you don't want to be long. It's the same thing as an inverse short. If the pre-market high breaks, you don't want to be short. So what do the algos do, right? Because, you know, when you're trading these large caps, it's all algo based. What are the algos doing? The algos are telling you, wait a second, this stock is breaking pre-market lows. You should probably get out. You should probably stop out and maybe even go short. That is wrong. What I've noticed is oftentimes on the biggest bounce days, again, this is my observation. You can do whatever the fuck you want with the information. It's my observation. They tend to break the pre-market low to stop everyone out and then reclaim it. And when they reclaim it, that's the signal. Now, as you guys know, this wasn't as aggressive of a bounce opportunity. You know, if you go back to the S&P 500, you know, when we were dealing with the tariffs and all that shit, I think it was here somewhere. Look at how different these washouts were. You know, SPY went from 570 to 470, $100 a share on a fucking index. You know, that's very, very different than whatever Micron, which was, I don't know, called 200, I don't know, $150 a share. You know, difference. You know, one is a $400 stock, one's an $800 stock, so it's half the way. But the point is this, that I've noticed that they tend to reclaim these low of the days and then rebound it. Additionally, something else that I noticed is more often than not, you know, I drew this a little bit of a downtrend line here. So you saw I drew this downtrend line. More often than not, if it reclaims its low of the day and it reclaims the downtrend line, dude, it's off to the races. This thing didn't even fail VWAP. It tested VWAP and continued. So there's so many things that I could have done better. I made 25K on this trade on Friday, but after reviewing my trade, which I suggest everyone do after their trade, is I recognized dumbass Alex. Why are you selling on the first test of VWAP after a bounce? And my thought process was I should just take some off in case the VWAP fails. You know, you don't know if the VWAP is going to reclaim. You don't know if it's going to continue higher, but I kind of chalked it up to this. And I chalked it up to the fact that, you know what, Alex? Sell a little bit if it does come to VWAP on the first test, but I could have rebought it, dude. Anywhere I rebought it, even if I rebought it at 818, even if I rebought it at 821, even if I rebought it at 824, even if I paid $6 a share more to rebound it, you know, I would have made $60 a share. So that's something else. I did the right thing of reducing a little bit at VWAP to lock in some profits, but I failed to add it back when VWAP remained strong and the trade remained intact, right? So as great as the trade was, as happy as the trade I was, it is now taught me a lesson for the next time this happens, that we should all remind each other that it is okay to reduce some on the first test of VWAP, but if that shit reclaims, dude, oh my God, do you see this shit? Like, this is a $1 million trade if you get it right. You know, this is a $1 million trade. Obviously, you know, I'm not trading with a massive account. You know, I'm not trading with millions of dollars, so that's rather difficult. But, you know, if you're properly capitalized, that's a $1 million, multi-million dollar trade opportunity. And essentially, it was like, I don't know, 809 to 879, about $70 a share in 1 hour with no real downtrend. You know, you take 1,000 shares, you make 700K. Anyway, but those are the lessons that we learn. Every day is a lesson. Every day we improve. Every day, you know, we try to get better. So very happy with the stock selection. Very happy to have demonstrated over the past couple weeks of slow action is okay. Slow action's okay. You know, trust me, I don't like slow action. I want to make money. You know, trading is my primary income. I make 99% of my income from trading. You know, so I want this shit to work more than anyone else. But, you know, I've realized through tons and 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 tons of red days that sometimes it's better to just chill out, right? Sometimes it's better to not have that extra shot. Sometimes it's better to not have that extra piece of brownie. Sometimes it's better, you know, to not say that quirky remark to your friend, even though you want to. Sometimes it's better to just chill out and do nothing, and that'll yield dividends long term. And that lesson took me forever. You know, don't forget, guys, I've been trading for 12 and a half years. You know, my 13-year anniversary is in February. I don't think I've done anything consistently for 13 years except eat and drink water, you know? So after you've been doing it for long enough, you start to recognize these patterns, you know? And the biggest thing is not only teaching the patterns, but demonstrating the patterns in real time, which, I mean, selfishly and biasly, I mean, I think we're one of the best to do it. Seriously. So with that being said, let's get started with the watch list. So the way that we build the watch list, we always go to the previous day's watch list and we build from there. Why? Because sometimes we forget what's on the previous day and the previous day's stuff still remains in play. So let's start there. So first things first, let's start with, what the hell is shit? PMAX. So PMAX, $1 stock, kind of came back to reality. Nothing there. BIYA, if you remember, on Friday, I said I'm waiting for more information on this before I trade it. And you can see that on Friday, right, it not only, well, today, this morning, not only did it break Friday's highs, it broke Thursday's highs. So now this is just a straight up breakout, man. This is straight up breakout. And it is continuing to be strong. Look at this shit. This is like stairway from heaven. You know, just straight up, essentially. So something you have to recognize about something like this is the, what is it called? Have you guys seen The Matrix? The woman in the red dress? You know, when Morpheus is teaching Neo about the Matrix and he's like, and then they're walking down the street and then the woman in the red dress shows up and Morpheus is like, Neo, were you looking at me or were you looking at the woman in the red dress? He turns his head and the woman in the red dress is Agent Smith with a gun shooting him in the face. That is what BIYA is. BIYA is the woman in the red dress. That's why we call it the hot stock of the day, right? The hot stock of the day is it's like the hot girl, right? The hot girl is going to take all your money and not let you take her home. You're going to waste all your time, you're going to waste all your money, and you're going to get nothing, right? So that's why we don't want to focus on those types of stocks because they are the distraction. They are the waste of time, right? So in my opinion, you know, if you haven't seen The Matrix, that scene with Neo and the woman in the red dress, I don't know if someone could pull it up on YouTube. You know, that's exactly how I feel when I'm trading these stocks. Is like you get distracted by that thing, and then you turn around and you get shot in the face by Agent Smith. So every time you trade these hot stocks, these main runners, always, you know, use the analogy of the woman in the red dress, you know, literally about to shoot your ass, you know? So for me, recognizing that this is a trap, right? It's like that shit from Star Wars. It's a trap, you know, whatever the hell that shit is. I forget that guy's name, but yeah, maybe it'll be advantageous to just watch this for a few seconds. You know, it's not movie time, but fuck it.
The system.
And if you guys are listening, come into webinars in Slack. That's where we're sharing everything.
Were you listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress? I was. Look again. Freeze it.
Oh, okay. You guys can watch more of that on your own time, but you guys understand the concept? The concept is the fact that the woman in the red dress is going to kick your ass, you know, if you let it and you be distracted by it. So I hope that analogy is very good. Anyway, so point is BIYA, you know, BIYA above Thursday and Friday's highs, ignoring this short as it has traded 33 million shares pre-market. It is the main stock of the day. There is not much other stocks moving. And it is holding its trend. I will ignore this on the short side. Micron and SanDisk, you know, as I said, Friday was an awesome bounce opportunity. They are gapping up now again. You know, there is some resistance here in the, you know, 900 mark for Micron-ish. You know, now I kind of think these trades are going to be choppy. I think the easy trade was on Monday. I think that anything else right now is just kind of 50-50 gambling. You know, could it go up? Maybe. Could it go down? Maybe. I don't know. I don't care. You know, I'm only looking for the days or the opportunities where it seems very easy and very obvious. And right now, these Micron and SanDisk just kind of seem a little bit random. So there's that. So nothing really there, I would say, on that. You know, SpaceX, I've been kind of monitoring this for a first green day type of bounce. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red days in a row. It is under the IPO pricing. And kind of today is the first day that it's gapping up. You know, I would be considering maybe potentially if SpaceX holds green to look for a potential long. But this has just been kind of selling off very aggressively. So this is going to be one where we need to wait for a little bit more information. So SpaceX, potential first green day long. It has to hold green. I would have preferred if it opened up red and then bounced green, but just waiting for more information. What else is there? Sorry, let me just pull this up. By the way, how's the audio? STAK, stack, all the way back down. Nothing there. GeoAI is kind of pulled all the way back. I mean, this would be nice for a bounce towards VWAP. GeoAI, ideally 290 plus bounce to short. ADVB, you know, ADVB, let's see. 1 second. Let's check float on that. ADVB. Float is less than 1 million and no dilution. So this is probably just an avoid. ADVB, less than 1 million float, no dilution, mostly an ignore. BIYA, you know, we went over. So overall today, guys, you know, we came in Friday. SDOT, you know, we go, you know, pulling up SDOT, if I remember correctly, this is also a very nano float. SDOT, the float is same thing, less than 1 million shares. You know, the reality is this, man, like honestly, if it's less than a 1 million share float company, we should really never be shorting it. You know, that should just be like a rule of thumb. You know, unless the stock went from like 50 to 5, you know. But if it's less than a million share float, you know, I could buy the company, right? With the money I keep stuffed under my mattress, I could buy the company. And you never want to short a company that someone else could buy. And I'm a nobody compared to these hedge funds and these algos. You know what I'm saying? So I'll probably just avoid it. So most of the time, if any of these stocks, guys, have less than a million share float, you know, 9 out of 10 times we shouldn't even be trading it, simply because, like, you know, the edge is not really in our favor, I would say. So yeah. So we came in Friday with some really, really great action. You know, we're coming in today with obviously not much action. You know, it is what it is. You know, this goes back to the same fact that I said earlier in this live trading, is that, you know, some days are busy, some days are cold. You saw that I was dealing with 2 weeks of cold action until we got a trade that made our entire month. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm thinking here. So mostly today going to be watching, you know, SpaceX for a potential green day, maybe GOAI if it bounces, PIYA, you know, we'll watch for money flow. But overall, looking like a slower day. It's actually very odd because Mondays are usually a lot more active. Mondays usually have a lot more, you know, action. We also saw this morning, you know, President Trump or someone in the administration was talking about a potential ceasefire again. So oil went down, you know, markets went up. So, I mean, and then we kind of rebounded again. So everything is just kind of, you know, up in the air, to be honest. So yeah, I mean, right now it's just kind of waiting for more information. I think that a lot of people are waiting to see what happens. We have earnings this week. You know, Netflix kicked off earnings last week. You know, we have Tesla this week. So yeah, it should be a pretty busy week overall. But with that being said, we got about 4 minutes until the market opens here. I left live trading running on Friday as an accident, and you guys saw me make $25,000. Imagine if you were actually a member and I didn't do it by accident, what you would see. Today, unfortunately, you guys will not be so lucky. I'll be cutting off the stream in 9:29 a.m. and reserving it for MIC members. So that being said, Steve, I'll let you chime in, maybe give your contact info, talk about some stuff, and then we'll get started live trading here in the next few minutes. Thanks.
Sounds good. So first of all, if you guys are listening in on YouTube, if you guys have any questions, if you guys want a trial membership at a discount, however we could help, just email me, StephenRH1 at myinvestingclub.com, and we'll be happy to help you guys out. Yeah, any questions at all? I get a lot of questions, so just feel free, don't be shy. Whatever you guys want to know, just email me and I'll get you guys sorted out. So I want to talk, it's got a couple minutes. I want to talk about meetups, and I want to talk about Orlando. So I'm going to post this in webinars. If you guys have a membership, come into Slack, come into webinars. Basically, you know, we've got basically a month, excuse me. It's late at night here. We've got basically a month before Orlando. So I want to make sure that you guys are all signed up. You guys have all the details, you know what's going on. So every year, it's been in Orlando the last, I want to say 4 years. We've been doing these in Orlando. Every year we do a big boot camp. So the idea is, you know, we do a bunch of fun stuff, hanging out, activities, and that kind of stuff. And then Sundays, educational content. We do moderator presentations. We do other activities. And Monday is in-person live trading on the big screens in the conference room with Alex and Bao. We also do some other really fun stuff. So if you guys are interested in coming, you've got to fill out this registration, right? So if you're a platinum member, go into the platinum channel, fill it out. It's completely free. If you're not platinum, you can buy your tickets here, but you should probably just become platinum, right? A couple things. I think we have like 5 dinners left, VIP dinners left. These are for Saturday night. This is a private VIP steak dinner with Alex and Bao. These tickets go to sponsor the event, right? So these are sponsorship tickets. All the ticket info is in the links in the page that I just posted. Universal Studios is sold out, but we are taking a short standby list. We might have 1 ticket opening up. DM me if you guys are interested in that. Also, so yeah, any questions at all on Orlando, feel free to reach out. Let me know how I could help. But these are a blast. So if there's any way you guys can make it, definitely come. We always have a blast. Everybody is, it tells me how grateful they are that they came, even though it was tough for them to come.
Steve, I gotta cut you off, bro. There's a trailer for Avengers Doomsday that just came out.
Huh?
Uh-oh.
So you want to pop it on?
Nah. If I watch, I'm gonna get too hyped for the market open, bro. I just had to make that PSA.
Nice. Cool. So yeah, we got about a minute and a half. So real quick too, if you guys ever want to host the meetup in your area, if you want to join a meetup, we've got the meetups channel. Here's a meetup that I did here in nearby in Sydney last week or so, a week and a half ago. Tons of fun. Here's some more info on meetups in general. We've got a meetup map. All the members, you guys could sign on the map, put your location, put your username so we know where you guys are. Then if we do a meetup nearby, we could reach out. We got the meetup channel. So whatever you guys want to do, we're all about socializing. We'll even help you guys sponsor it. Just post it or DM me if you guys have any questions on it. That's about it. We're going to open up the market here pretty quick. So I'll hand it back over. Thanks,
Sounds
guys.
good. All right, guys.